So when you hear that music, you know what time it is. I was tempted to switch it out for the Gator fight song because my guest today is a very special friend of mine, Fleetwood Fleming, who is the assistant director of major gifts for Gator boosters, of which I am one. And I'm excited to have him here. We're getting ready for some football. It's Gator football time. Fleetwood, which is definitely the coolest name on the planet. Welcome to Tell Me Something Good. It's your chance. Rock and roll, brother.
Oh, Steve, I am so excited to be here with you today. I've got three things that are good for you. Man, football season is here. It seems, last 5.5, 6 months, it seemed like the goalpost moved on this every day, but we're finally here, and a lot of hard work by a lot of great people. And so it's exciting to see the Gators out there again. Big news here from a university standpoint. We were just named the number 6 public institution in America. We jumped up from number 7. That's a big, big deal around here. We're on the drive for 5. And the third one's probably the most exciting. It's personal to me is my wife and I we're pregnant with our first baby. So
isn't that great, man? Outstanding. Bringing a new Gator in the world, man.
Yeah, we got a little baby Gator swimming in the swamp here in January. So it's a great time. Blessed and fortunate and very excited to be with you. And thanks for bringing me on today. It's a pleasure.
It's my pleasure. So we had the opportunity to meet through our mutual friend, Tim Hewlett, when we were doing some work for the Gator Booster. So why don't you share with my audience what the role is, how you, affect what happens on campus, off campus, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I work for Gator Boosters. We are the principal fundraising arm of University of Florida Athletics. And so we do a little bit of everything inside this office. So we handle booster contributions, season tickets for football, basketball, baseball, all the sports that we play each and every year. And then we have our major giving side, which is the side of the house that I sit on, which handles a lot of capital improvement projects, facility fundraising, endowment fundraising. Some of those major giving items is where the title came from of major gifts. So, but that's what we do. We're a one-stop shop. We handle all of it right here in this office. I'm in the north end zone of the swamp right now as I talk to
Love
you.
It.
And,
Love it.
And it's a pleasure. It's such a wonderful place to work. We have so many wonderful people that work here, and we get to go to work for the Gators every day, and that's truly an exciting thing.
So when we met, first of all, I was taken by your name. Fleetwood Fleming is clearly one of the top names of anybody I've ever met. So I love that. But I was also sort of enamored with the fact that what you do is very much in line with sales. It's very relationship driven. So why don't you speak to the audience, like how you do what you do and how COVID may have altered your path and what you're doing to get around it?
Yeah, so we're 100% a relationship-driven organization, Steve, and I think that's where our connection first happened immediately, and it's where my connection with Mark came from too, is we all see the value and the significance of what relationships are, and especially when it comes to philanthropic fundraising, right? A lot of that same skill set from sales to fundraising, it's very transferable. But at the end of the day, where our industry is a little bit different is we ask people to invest their discretionary dollars and not necessarily get a product that immediately fixes, a problem that they have, or there's a lot of times there's not that just tangible thing, that reward they get from an investment. Instead, it's an investment into a cause, an investment into something that they believe in, something that they're passionate about. And in this case, it's Florida Gator sports. And it certainly presented its challenges. Like everything else, I think COVID has touched everybody in every industry, and certainly with us as well. But I think it's also opened up the doors for some opportunities. And I'm always a silver lining in every dark cloud kind of guy. And I think for us, it's really allowed us to go back and hit what we just talked about, the relationship piece. It's created that connection of checking in with folks. And at the end of the day, that's what we are is the University of Florida and the Gators. We're a family. Gator Boosters is a part of it, and all of our donors are a part of our family. So it all kind of weaves its way together in this elaborate tapestry. And it's what COVID has allowed us to do. Yes, we still have to fundraise. Yes, we still have buildings we want to build. And, we're trying to figure out football season. But at the end of the day, none of it happens without the people that are donors to this university, and they're first and foremost.
I love that. I love that. So speaking of buildings, the last time I was in Gainesville, you gave us a tour of some of the highlights, if you were, and then also the baseball stadium is complete now, correct?
That's it.
So
We've got a brand new, beautiful baseball
so
stadium. It's unbelievable. I think whenever you go to build, right, there's always these lofty expectations that everybody has, and that was certainly the case with Florida Ballpark. It replaced McKeithen, which saw a lot of great Gator wins and served its purpose for a long, long period of time. And Florida Ballpark's just kind of the next chapter in the book of Gator baseball, but an unbelievable facility. It's a great place to come out with the family, watch a game, and play some pretty doggone good baseball in there too.
So on the tour that you took us into some of the academic buildings. My memory doesn't serve me well, but I'm sure you'll know the name, where you took us in and saw all of the different classrooms and different ways that boosters can get involved in supporting the academic side of athletes, which is really tremendous. And I was hoping you can share some of that as well.
Yeah, it really is. It's about 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say probably into 2013, beginning of 2014, we began a pretty aggressive fundraising push to improve the infrastructure of everything that touches Gator athletics, and academics was a huge piece of that. Is we led off with that. We're number 6 public university in the country, and it's an unbelievable ranking. It's elite company that we're involved with there when you look at the other institutions. And so those academic expectations are the same on our student athletes. It's a world-class education and world-class competition, but the education piece is big. And so we opened up Farrier Hall at the Hawkins Center, which was the facility that we went in,
That's it,
Steve,
right?
and got a chance to take a look in there. I mean, just an unbelievable facility. It's 82,000 square feet of anything a student athlete could need to succeed, from study rooms and study lounges. It's where academic advising is. We've got job placement over there, mock interviews, everything to prepare student athletes for what happens when sports ends. And inevitably, whether it's a 20-year NFL career, a 10-year NBA career, whatever it is, you go to the Olympics, sports inevitably ends for everybody. And so where's that next step? And so that was a big piece of our infrastructure and a big piece of our investment of what we raise money for, is to impact the student athlete experience and that holistic development of them, not just what you see on the field on Saturdays or on the court on Sundays or whatever the field of play may be.
So I love that. That actually made me really proud that, as we were walking around and I was with Mark, the commitment to the academic side, which I don't think people talk about. It's not as sexy as what happens on the field. But before we leave fundraising, you've always come up with you and your team have come up with unique ways for anybody at any level to get involved. So could you speak to the stuff that you've done in front of the football stadium? Because I thought that was the most novel approach that I don't think people are really aware that you can get involved, over a period of time, make your commitment. And so the way you're treating anybody that wants to get involved, I thought that was a perfect example.
Yeah, I think that when people hear major gifts or people hear fundraising, I think it can get intimidating a little bit when you hear that, because your mind instantly thinks to big, big, big projects and namings of big, big, big buildings. And that's part of what we do here. But, our goal is to have every Gator be involved here, because that's what it takes. Championship programs are built by everybody on the team pulling their weight in the same direction. And so we've created some cool opportunities with our fundraising unit. So right now we've got, we call them bollards. They're these stone pillars out in front of the swamp in the O'Connell Center. And somebody can put their name on it, their family's name, whatever it is, a fun little slogan you say when you're tailgating. We've kind of seen it all. We've put those out in front of the swamp. It's $10,000 to name them, but like any gift here, you can break it up over 5 years. It can be 100% tax deductible. You can roll it for priority points with football tickets. There's all kind of ways that you can do this to benefit, but bollards, we've got lockers inside of the swamp, our game day locker room. All of the lockers inside the Cornblau family locker room are available to be named. So just different opportunities like that for people who say, hey man, I think I want to get involved. I love the Gators. It's a way to leave your mark. It's a way to leave your legacy. And, at the end of the day, it gets back to what we talked about. It's pushing those student athletes forward, that championship mindset. Coach Mullen calls it the Gator standard.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's speak about the Gator standard for a second. How does a guy with your background and your family legacy at different school wind up as a Gator? So.
Yeah, no, it's a great story. So I originally grew up in Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, my full name is Fleetwood Leon Fleming the third, and
Even better, man.
if that's not the most Charleston thing you've ever heard today, then you're lying to me. But I grew up in Charleston, wonderful place. Great. My whole family is from the state of South Carolina, and when it came time to go to college, I grew up in a Clemson family. Mom went to Clemson. It was how I was raised my whole life. I graduated from Clemson, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be sitting here today talking about my career in intercollegiate athletics. I was a history major in college. God bless my parents. They paid for the LSAT. They paid for the LSAT prep class. The 11th hour, I'll never forget calling them and saying, Mom and Dad, I don't think I want to go to law school. I don't know what it is I want to do, but it's not that. And it led to my career in sports. And what we do in athletic administration is so similar to when you look at coaching. And there's a good bit of moving around at the beginning as you learn your craft and you learn from different people and you make that network and those relationships. And all of a sudden the country doesn't seem as big as it once did, north, south, east, west. And as I went about my career into athletic administration, I was lucky enough that the opportunity here at UF came up and with Gator Boosters, and just such a special experience. I'll never forget, coming here in 2008. It was October of 2008. I came on the campus tour with my mom. And leaving Gainesville at that time, saying, that's a really special place. I don't know. I don't know when I'll get back there, but I know it's a place I want to get back. And that was actually something I said on my interview here. And it's amazing how things work. You're blessed. You're lucky. We ended up back in Gainesville. We ended up Gators, and we love it. My wife loves it. And probably the best thing, Steve, for somebody who does this for a living is there's so much sacrifice that your spouse does. There's a lot of time that you're away, and a lot of time that your dates are sporting events that you're going to. And, it makes my day. The other day I came home and my wife looked at me and she just goes, I love being a Gator. And to me, that's it. And it's tremendous.
Oh, I get chills. It's so great. So here we are. We're kicking off Gator Week for my show. This Saturday will be the Gator Gator opener. They'll be away. So I know hospitality is always a big part of what you've done. How are you guys handling? Because there won't be people in the stands. How are you handling that request? What does opening day football mean to you, just from a business and a personal perspective?
I think it's a culmination of 5.5, 6 months of just really hard work by a lot of people. And, this thing was like everybody, it affected every part of life. And so Scott Strickland, our athletic director, President Ken Fox of the university, UF Health, everybody that sits on that part of the totem pole of this university work together collaboratively to get to this point. And as well as our coaching staff, our student athletes, it takes significant buy-in to be able to get here with everything you have to do with testing, all the things that our student athletes, our players, have to sacrifice to not necessarily do some of those things that normal college kids get to do, if it means getting to go play. And that's for all of our fall sports. Obviously, football is the big one this Saturday, but all of our other fall sports, all those athletes have to make that same sacrifice. So I think it's a culmination of a lot of really hard work and sacrifice by a lot of people. And then personally, it's a lot of fun. I think that these are the moments that we've waited for, is to get to see the Gators run out of the tunnel, get to see the ball get kicked off. Those are the things that we've waited for. And I think there's something cathartic about it. And
I agree.
And, as part of the hospitality piece, Steve, it's different, right? So we're going to go from having 93,000 people inside the swamp every Saturday for home games to about 17,000. And so it's going to be different how we interact with folks. Everybody's going to wear a mask. We're going to be socially distanced. But I think that there's a way that we can find to make those people feel welcomed and to make them feel special for being here. And man, it's, it's rule number 10 in the book, make it a habit to smile, and there's things, Steve, it's Scott, who's our AD, Scott Strickland. He's talked about smiling with your eyes, even when the mask is on.
Yes, sir.
And it's one of those things. I think all of that is big. And at the end of the day, hey, we get to play football. And that's the thing. It's the common language that we all speak is we all love football and we can't wait for it to get here.
I have been super impressed. Obviously, my son Jake is a student assistant for the team, and just the preparation for practice, every attention to detail. They're getting tested 3 times a week. So, everybody's made huge leaps in making this happen. So in our final minute, knowing that you've got the stage, you've got the mic, what do you want to share with people to welcome us to Gator football?
Oh, we are so excited. If you wear orange and blue, anywhere you are, they're in the state of Florida, the Southeast, the country, or the globe, this is a celebration for all the Gators. It's a special time every year, especially this time. And so we're excited. We can't wait for it to get here. We can't wait to play Ole Miss and get this thing going, because despite all of it, I think we got a pretty special football team, and we got some talent on this football team. So we're going to be fun to watch, and it's a pleasure to serve our student athletes and get to do what we do with Gator Boosters.
I'm thrilled that you took the time out of a busy week to share with us. Please share how people get in touch with you that are either Gators, want to find a way to invest in their school, or so how do they find you?
They can go to our website is our best part. We've got every bit of information you could ever want to know. It's gatorboosters.org. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Fleetwood Flem, 1 M on there. And find us, reach out. We're always happy to help. We're here to serve. At the end of the day, that's what our job is.
Love that. So I love that, and we wish you collectively, my whole audience, wish you and your wife an easy birth, a healthy birth, and bring that baby Gator into the world.
I said, Steve, we appreciate you. Thanks for all you do. And man, it's a shot of adrenaline every time I talk to you. It's always great, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
All right, take care, buddy.